Now, the scenes of women and children crossing the Ukrainian border to seek a new life as a refugee, as their male loved ones kiss them goodbye to head back into their country to defend it from Russian tyranny, have been ones that have moved many of us. The right of Ukraine to self-determination, to join whatever club it wants, and to face westwards is one most of us reckon is worth defending. That's why our nation was the first to train up Ukrainian troops and to send equipment, something we ought to be immensely proud of. It's reminded me, though, that there's one constituent part of our United Kingdom that finds itself stripped of its right to self-determination, of its right to be British, of its right to unfettered trade with Great Britain, by far its biggest trading partner, of its right to have the same rules and regulations as the rest of the United Kingdom, and its right to experience the benefits of Brexit that the rest of the country are going to enjoy. That's right, folks. I was reminded of Northern Ireland and the dreaded Northern Ireland Protocol. Can you imagine for a second, just try and visualise this, if Scotland voted for independence and an independent Scotland told England that we had to follow EU rules to avoid a border with Scotland, we'd rightly be furious. It's an emotion felt by many unionists in Northern Ireland today. There's a great sense of bitter betrayal by those in Westminster. It's as simple as this, folks, right? A constituent part of the United Kingdom cannot remain a client state of Brussels. It's patently absurd that goods passing from England, Wales or Scotland are subject to checks when crossing to Northern Ireland. And guess what? It's all been policed by the European Court of Justice, based in Luxembourg. The devolved administration in Northern Ireland has actually collapsed over unionist demands to scrap the protocol, and government sources are reportedly starting to grow anxious about striking a deal with the EU over the protocol before the May 5th elections take place in Northern Ireland. Now, folks, Foreign Secretary Liz Truss has been somewhat busy, I think it's fair to say. She's been dealing with the fallout from Russia's invasion of Ukraine, but the government simply cannot forget about Northern Ireland. I think the time has passed since the government ought to have triggered Article 16. That's the process to actually bring an end to Northern Ireland's suffering under this Brussels protocol. To give you an idea of the havoc that this protocol has actually caused, the Belfast Telegraph's Sam McBride reports that a month ago, a Northern Irish lorry carrying New Zealand and Australian lamb was stopped at the Irish sea border in Belfast Harbour, and the frozen food that was supposed to be used by a Northern Ireland manufacturer from this shipment and made into ready meals in NI instead sat there for 5 whopping days before heading back to Britain, obviously meaning Northern Ireland missed out. There's all of a sudden a hardening at the border that no official on either side wants to own up to, whether that be Northern Ireland in Westminster, Whitehall, or indeed in Brussels. But this obviously disadvantages Northern Ireland when producers and exporters reckon that they simply cannot do business with Northern Ireland because of these ever-evolving rules and an ever-hardening border down the Irish Sea. What consent does this have from unionism in Northern Ireland? This is going to mean a hit to Northern Ireland jobs, to Northern Ireland's economy, and to Northern Ireland's consumers. And what makes it all the more extraordinary is that the British government seemed to be absolutely none the wiser that this was actually taking place. Ministers in Northern Ireland also none the wiser. It could be the case that actually civil servants, extraordinarily, have been taking instruction from Brussels when it comes to enforcement of ever-changing rules around the governance of this dreaded protocol. Article 16 of the Northern Ireland Protocol is that safeguarding mechanism that can be used if the protocol leads to, and this is a quote from the actual text, serious economic, societal or environmental difficulties that are liable to persist or to the diversion of trade. I think it's hard to argue that now isn't the time to utilise that article and to unshackle Northern Ireland from the regulatory quagmire that it actually finds itself in. But folks, we'll be hearing from a diverse set of views in Northern Ireland on this issue of power sharing and the protocol. As ever, please do let me know what you think. GBViews@gbnews.uk.